Hi, Stacy. I am so happy you are here with us and you're going to share a little bit of your job joy journey. Before we get started, though, can you give us a quick introduction?
Sure. Thanks, Kristen, for having me. My name is Stacy Mance. I am based in Connecticut. I've been working in sales pretty much my whole career, and I found Kristen after reading her book that was gifted to me. So,
You have a nice sister.
yes.
Amazing. And so let's rewind the clock. Where were you when you started the program? What was going on? How were you feeling? What were you looking for?
So I was about 4 months into a new job that I quickly realized was not the right fit. And it seemed like after I left my job before that, I was just in another rabbit hole in the same position, well, a similar position that I was in the last time. And it just seemed kind of hopeless. Like I was never going to find a job that I actually truly loved. So I bit the bullet after getting this book over a year ago. I finally read it and was like, oh my God, she's literally speaking to me here. So so yeah, before I reached out though, that's really what prompted me to initially reach out, because my sister gave me some background on the book and what you do. Um, so that's where I was. I thought it might be helpful to have a second opinion and see where this went.
Amazing. And you were a rock star. You accomplished so much. I want to, even before we tell everyone where you're at now and all the cool developments, shall we say, why was it so important for you to land a job that was aligned with, your passions, your skills, where you were respected and appreciated, well compensated? Why was that so important? You had something special that gave you a little extra fire.
So at the time, my husband and I were planning on starting a family together. So my thought was, I mean, at the time, I wasn't pregnant. And my thought was, I need to be in a better mental state of mind, a non toxic workplace, so that I can bring a baby into the world. With a clear mind and a happy heart. So we did end up getting pregnant, and it was just,
Spoiler alert!
it was just it seemed that it was the perfect timing, because it was early on, and I felt that waiting would be a mistake. I just had to bite the bullet and make the move as quickly as possible. But being under pressure to make a move is not good for anyone. So
Yeah.
having the additional guidance and suggestions were extremely helpful, and taking it step by step versus this was the mistake that I made going to my last job, which ended up being a toxic environment, but running away from something rather than running to something. So having you guiding me each step of the way and giving me a lot more to think about that I probably wouldn't have thought about on my own, and kind of making me check in and come back to earth a bit versus taking the first thing that fell into my lap.
Amazing.
So.
I love it. We always talk, job joy is all about landing your jobs, but you got a double prize here. So let's actually tell us what, fast forward to the end, by the end of the program, by the end of our time together, where are you now? What's happened?
So I think what it really came down to was not really knowing what I wanted to do. Um, and granted, I think there's still a lot of open doors. There are a lot of different directions that I can go, but what it really came down to and why I wasn't happy in my previous jobs, I think, was just working for a large organization, and not really having my voice heard and not really feeling passionate about what I was doing and not being able to build something and feeling like I'm really contributing and not just a number. So I guess finding that clarity around it really helped me find my next job, which is a small startup company. I started evaluating a few different startups, and with your guidance, I was able to narrow it down to the one that I thought was the best fit for me. So I just started there a couple weeks ago, and it's been fun. I'm still in a sales role, which is okay for me for right now. I think the move was a good move, and there's so much opportunity to grow in the organization. So that's really exciting. And everything that I've learned from our time together, I can reapply if and when I'm looking into transitioning into a different career within this company or even outside of the company. So
Amazing.
I'm
So
happy
you
where I'm at
landed the
right now.
job, like you landed the job so fast.
Mhm.
Um, and the timing was perfect because, one of your reasons, we talk about whys. I do that with everyone because I want you to have a bigger reason than just the job, right? And your reason was the time is now, because we want to start a family, right? And so you did land the job and the timing was perfect because now you're starting your family. With your butt in the oven. Okay, wild card question. Any takeaways, ahas, things that were surprising about our work that you didn't expect? Anything you want to share here?
Yeah, I think some of the biggest takeaways, and something that I wasn't really expecting to be a huge focus going into this, was the big focus on self-care, which seems like such a small thing, but it's actually the foundation of everything that we did. Um, Whether it was just finding clarity around what I was looking to do and what I wanted out of a career and out of life in general. Self-care and taking a step back to take care of myself first, I think was a huge part of why this program works. And just really digging into the why, like why is this important? So I think that was definitely one of the bigger takeaways, and not making it all about work all the time, especially in a toxic work environment. Self-care is even more important. So
Yeah, I love it. I want to like underline and highlight that. But it's like the first thing to go when we're stressed out, right?
Mhm.
Um, but it's such a huge component. And for my high achievers, my potential workaholics, it's not all about work. So amazing. And then one final question, Stacy, for anyone that is considering career coaching, what advice would you give them?
I would just say to just do it. Like if you're thinking about it, and if you've been in a similar situation that I've been in, where you feel stuck in a career, and that it's impossible to make a different career change, it's absolutely not true. I
Yeah.
fully believe that you can do anything that you want to do, and especially with this guidance, and you holding me accountable, and your clients accountable, I think it's huge. And I think if you're even considering it, just to do it, because you're not going to regret it. And even if you don't land a new job immediately, I think it's just all about the mindset, and having the right mindset, even if it's just pushing through in a job that maybe you can't leave right now, but just completely changing your mentality around where you're at right now, and building a foundation of where you're looking to go. So
Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know I'll be talking to you really soon. So I'll see you later. Bye, Stacy.
thanks. Bye.